Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, today we are doing our weekly check in on our paper trading IRA portfolio. This account is designed for education so we can learn how to build a portfolio, make thoughtful decisions, and understand investing step by step without risking real money. We'll review the current holdings, talk about what happened last week, make a few updates today, and discuss an important event coming tomorrow with SOFI earnings. First, let's look at where the portfolio stands right now. We currently are holding positions in VTI, SCHD, SOFI, and AMD. VTI represents the total U.S. market and gives us broad diversification. SCHD focuses on dividend paying companies and gives us income exposure. Those two are what I would categorize as if you just want to invest and you want exposure, but you don't want to have to go in and manage everything yourself. These two positions right here could be your portfolio, and all you would need to do is add into it and fund it and just add money on a regular basis and build out the accounts and let nature take charge of the rest of the course. So those are those two. Now, SoFi represents a growth company that we are building over time. It's at 30 shares right now. Eventually, we're going to build it to over 100. My goal with SoFi is to use it to sell covered calls on, which you need 100 shares to do. So we're currently at 30, but we want to get them at a good price because that will make things easier along the way, getting in at a good entry price instead of chasing price. And then you're kind of limited to creating profits in there. But we'll get to that in a later class. But that's my thoughts on SoFi. AMD gives us exposure to the technology and AI sector. This combination helps show newer investors how a portfolio can mix stability, income, and growth. Now, one thing I want to highlight from last week is that our SoFi limit buy order did fill after we closed out the loom. And that's an important lesson because instead of chasing the stock price, we placed a limit order and let the market come to our price. This is one reason many investors prefer limit orders. It can help create discipline and better entries. Patience can be a powerful investing tool. Now let's talk about today's moves. Now today we're going to be adding to SCHD. The reason is simple. SCHD helps us continue building the income side of the portfolio through strong dividend companies. It also tends to be less volatile than many growth stocks. So let's jump in on SCHD. All right, before we do that, actually, no, I'm just going to do it this way. We're going to add to the position. So I just right click on SCHD, adjust position. We are going to be adding, where are we at right now? 35 shares. Let's add 10 shares. The price is currently trading, and like I said, it's not volatile, so it doesn't do that kind of running that the growth stocks can do where they're going up and down and up and down. It may move a few pennies a day. So we're just going to go ahead and stick this over here. And now we have 45 shares. Now, move you over here. Second, we're going to start adding some shares to SoFi. Our long-term goal is to continue growing this position over time. We're not trying to rush. We are building gradually and using position sizing. So let's jump into SoFi. And remember, SoFi has earnings tomorrow. So, all right, so we got it at $17.94. It's currently trading at $18.54. Earnings is tomorrow. All right, let's just, actually, I'm going to do this differently now. I showed you that way to adjust your position. Now let me go into trade. Close this. This is the way we had been doing it. So you go in here, you can go and buy. So you see there's two ways to add to your position. You can either right click on it as we did with SCHD and just add to the position. And then it'll do it accordingly. However, this one we want a little bit more control, maybe over price. So let's go buy. All right, so we got buy. We're going to go with, let's say 5 shares today. And if I can get SOFI for, let's say, let's look at the charts and see what SOFI has actually been doing. All right, first thing I want to do is adjust this pre-market low, this area in the peach, because this gives us a range of the lowest price was in this morning and the highest. And let's take a quick look at yesterday. So yesterday, SOFI jumped up. SOFI was volatile. So it was up here around $19 a share, did a pullback, went up. This is how it closed. Actually, I take that back. This is how it closed in the like last night from 4 to 8. So people were still buying. And then this morning, people sold off. Kind of did some ranging in here, sold off, dropped the price down to 1841. And then when the market opened, the price was, a lot of volatility in here. So the lowest it has been this morning has been $18.29. The highest has been is $18.89. So we're currently trading somewhere in the middle. So I'm cool with that. I'm good. So we're just going to go ahead and do a limit buy for around where it is now. Where are we at? We're right about 1858. All right, let's jump back over to our portfolio. So I like that for that one. All right, so let's make that 1850. You know how I am. I like to think I'm always getting a sale. Confirm and send. So we're going to buy 5 shares at 1853 as a limit buy. It's currently trading at 1856. And it's going to the correct account, our IRA, send. So it's just going to hang out under the monitor tab in working orders. Let me move over here. Under monitor activity and positions, working orders. If you open it up, here's where SOFI will live until it hits 1853 or lower. So for now, it's not filled. It's just pending, and we're going to let it hang out. If it doesn't fill, I'm okay with it not filling today, because the time in force is day, which means if the order doesn't fill by 4, it gets canceled. Because we're going into SOFI earnings tomorrow, I'm okay with it not filling at that price. I'm just trying to get it in at a better price. And I'll keep an eye on SOFI today and tomorrow because I'm not working. And I can kind of see if we can get a better entry to add to the SOFI position. Otherwise, we're just going to let it hang out. So that handles SOFI. Third, we're going to add to AMD. Now, AMD has performed well for us, and it represents a strong company in the semiconductor and AI space. This is also a lesson that sometimes quality positions can still be added carefully even after gains. So let's take a quick peek at SOFI. So we have 2 shares of it, and we opened it up about a month ago. It's up $187.84. Today, it's down $16, but on the open, we're up $187. So that means it's doing a little bit of a pullback. Let's take a quick peek at the charts and see what we have on AMD so we can make sure we're aligned with where we want to add this to this position. All right, so like yesterday, this was yesterday's activity. So I think we've hit 2 all-time highs since last week, where SOFI is trading higher than it has ever traded in its history. So different things can happen. People can sell, they can lock in profits. You may see the price go down because people are realizing, hey, this thing is doing really good. We want to lock in some of these paper gains and make them real gains. So they may exit part of their position to lock in those gains, looking to add into it down the road. A lot of things influence the way price goes in here. So we see the selling off, and I am not concerned about it at all. For me, it means we can get it at a little bit of a cheaper price. And then the rest of the day just kind of ranged, not a whole lot going in the post market from 4 to 8 p.m. yesterday. Kind of just stayed quiet. And then this morning, some more selling off. And then price just came down to here at 309.50. And the highest it was this morning was 334. And we're a little bit higher than what I would categorize as the middle. So buyers have definitely stepped in. So let's jump in on this now at around, I'm not even going to play around with a market buy. a limit buy on this one. I'm going to probably put it right where I'm going to do a limit buy, but where it's currently trading. 325-ish. All right, so let's jump into AMD. So we're going to go back to, I'm not going to do it from the monitor tab because I don't want to confuse us by showing too many different ways, but you did see there is a way to adjust to AMD in the monitor tab. Add to position. So you right click, add, and then you could do it from here. Actually, we can do it here because I wanted to see this here where we had a chance to bring up the order entry box. All right, so we want to buy. Let's see how much capital. All right, let me see where we've got stock buying power. We have $2,840 in capital left. Okay. All right. So let's buy. Oh, AMD, you're going to do so good for us. Ignore the phone. Life is happening over here. All right, so we're going to go in and. Call from Hartford City. Let's block that. All right. Sorry for the interruption. So I want to buy 325. All right. Yeah, right around here. I'm just going to have it fill it. 325.46. Buy one AMD. It's in the IRA. Hit send. All right. So we automatically added that one share to AMD. Fourth, we're going to open a starter position in Meta. Now, let's talk a little bit about Meta. Meta is a higher price stock, and in a real brokerage account, many investors might use fractional shares to start smaller. In the paper trading platform, we use whole shares, so we're going to be beginning with one share as a starter position. And that's just one of the caveats of paper trading. You don't have access to all of the tools you would in your brokerage account, but if it were me, I would definitely Meta platforms. I would definitely start off with like $50 at a time and keep adding to it. 50 to 100 is usually my sweet spot because it only gets you 1/6 of a share or 1/12, but it opens the position. Because it's in your monitor tab, you would see it, what it's doing on a daily basis, and you can tell by the trading price and the market price. It's easier to see where is a good place to add when you have it this way. Now, all right, let's go back to trade. We're going to open up a position in Meta. Let's close the option chain. And it's trading at $6.71 a share. Let me take a look at Meta just because if we want to put a limit buy just to get it a little bit cheaper, we're going to need to see what it's been doing. All right, let me adjust the pre-market low to cover this wick right here. So this is where it's been all this morning, and it's kind of on the lower side of the pre-market and even over here. So this is a place where buyers have been stepping in to push the price back up a little bit. So it's about where it's going to be for right now. So let's just jump back over to our trading. And let's see, trade. We're going to buy one share. I'm just going to limit it where it's currently trading and confirm. All right. So that should be in our monitor tab along with our two working orders that haven't filled yet. So that would be Meta. That's another lesson for investors. You don't need to go all in. You can start small and build over time. Now let's discuss tomorrow's SOFI earnings report. This is important because when you invest in individual companies, you want to follow the business, not just the stock price. During earnings reports, investors listen for revenue growth, profitability, member growth, and future guidance. And here's something newer investors should understand. And before I jump into that, the member growth. Now, SOFI does a lot of, its platform is based around financials. And their feeling is like, if we get them in as a customer for a checking account, we can share other products with them. Things like personal loans, school tuition loans, car loans, mortgages, things of that nature. And so they're almost trying to create a model where you do all your one-stop shopping with them. If you need to buy a car, you can get a car loan. If you need to do this, that, and the other, even investing, and they have other tools that they're expanding out. And so when it says you want to follow their membership growth, that's because this company works with memberships. So I just want to clarify that. But one thing, there's something new investors should understand. Even if a company reports strong earnings, the stock can still drop. Why? Because traders may take profits, expectations may have already been high, or investors may not like the future guidance. This can seem confusing at first because it's a normal part of the market. Tomorrow we'll review what happens and use it as another learning opportunity. The biggest lesson from today is this: we are not trying to get rich in one trade. We are building a diversified portfolio slowly, consistently, and with intention. That is how many long-term investors create wealth. Thank you for watching, and I will see you before I close it out, let me just make sure I did everything I said I was going to do. I'm trying to script it to keep us flowing and have everything working in a nice, even tempo. But I want to make sure now we have these 2 orders. They probably will fill. When I check in tomorrow, I'll let you know what they did. If our orders aren't met, like this one, we have 672.15. It is now trading at 672.80. If it comes back down, it'll fill. If it doesn't, it won't. I'm okay with it. We will address Meta on a different day. So you don't always have to chase the price, I think is the point. So tomorrow I will be recording something around earnings. And as a heads up, I fully intend on doing a new series that I'm currently working on. And that's to help us deal with the psychology around trading. How not to, how to make good choices, how to not respond so emotionally, not how to be reactive, because you're going to be emotional. Because I think anytime you're dealing with money, there's going to be a certain amount of attachment you have to it. And it's very important to know how to navigate that so that you sleep good at night, so that you know you're doing the right thing. And you have to find a way to learn how to normalize volatility. And finding a mentor that can help you when the market does things that are unexpected or confusing, it kind of can create a panic in you that says, "Oh, get rid of it, sell, just move. Let me secure my money." And you have to learn how to navigate that. And when things are normal, just new, it makes it a little easier to sit in it. And then as experience comes and you say, "Oh, we've seen this before. This isn't nothing to panic about." But in the beginning, as a new investor, you don't have that experience. You don't have that point of reference. So I want to work on something that will help both of us, you and me, to be stronger in that way, because a lot of people will send you videos on how to make money and they hype it up and they make it seem like it's this real get rich quick kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, nobody talks about the psychological resilience that you can develop that can make you more comfortable while you're building the growth. Because losing $100 potentially in a paper loss looks a lot different than losing $10,000 in a potential paper loss. And I'm watching some of these people and they're just sitting there and I'm looking at their portfolio and I'm like, this thing is down 30,000. Oh, we felt Meta. This thing is down $30,000 in his portfolio. Now he might have $1 million in there. So maybe in his mind, the 30,000, it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money compared to what his capital looks like. And then that all ties into classes we'll be talking about, like capital appreciation, capital efficiency, how to really develop a mind that will help you grow your portfolio out in a good way. So that's what I have for today. You've seen how we're doing so far. And I will check in with you tomorrow during the SOFI earnings call. If you want to hang in with me, I may record the whole one. I may watch it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet because I'm trying to keep our videos kind of on the shorter side. So thank you for watching and I will see you in the next update. Bye.